Good morning. Today on Spotlight, inside the Michigan Global Talent Initiative. What's the plan to attract and retain talent from around the world with key economic benefits involved? I'll put that question to Steve Tabachman, Executive Director of Global Detroit, and Dr. Elena Jackson, Managing Director of that very same organization. And later on our Sunday morning program, an interview with Tim Slusser, Chief of Detroit's Office of Mobility Innovation. He'll provide details on how and why Detroit was selected as one of only 3 locations in the world to be part of Toyota's Sustainable Cities Challenge and what comes with that honor. It's Sunday, June the 30th. I'm Chuck Stokes, and this is Spotlight. Dr. Elena Jackson, Steve Tabachman, via Zoom out there in Albany, California. Welcome to Spotlight today.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so immigration, what a huge issue, playing a major role in this year's presidential election as well. But you guys, I'm gonna bring you a little closer to home than the presidential election. The Michigan Global Talent Initiative, a mouthful, the new American in Michigan report. All of this is coming together as we try to grow Michigan. I'm going to start with you, Steve. What's your role in all this?
Well, Global Detroit is an economic development organization that focuses on immigrant inclusion as a growth strategy for our city and region and state. And we spearhead the Michigan Global Talent Coalition, which is a business group of about 20 organizations from all across the state, including the Upper Peninsula, Traverse City, Flint, Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Saginaw, Midland, and beyond. And this coalition formed in 2019 to advocate for immigrant inclusion to the governor's workforce development plans. There's a plan out there called 60 by 30 to upskill the Michigan workforce, so that 60% of our workers have a degree or a professional credential by 2030. And what we advocate for is that immigrant inclusion into that strategy so that 100 to 125,000, about a quarter of the gap that we have, is filled through immigration. And our coalition joined with the American Immigration Council, a national organization, to look at the facts around immigration. What does it mean for our state and for our economy? And this report highlights the facts of what immigrants do in Michigan.
All right, that gives us a great introduction. I'm going to segue to you, Dr. Jackson. You grew up in Detroit, went to Cass Tech. We won't let you brag about that right now. You've lived all over the world. Tell us about your interest in immigration and why this is heart and soul to you.
You know, I like to tell people that Detroit prepared me to go into the world and to be successful. It never occurred to me that I didn't belong somewhere because Detroit told me that I could do anything and I could do it wherever I wanted to. And so I lived and worked in about 8 different countries. I was in Germany, I was in France, I was in Mexico, I was in Costa Rica, I was in Brazil. Peru. In my experience, being welcomed helped me to acclimate to my surroundings better, it helped me to adapt better, and it helped me to contribute more soon to the communities I was in. I also observed my husband's immigration journey. My husband is from Mexico, and when I moved back to the United States, he came with me. And the ups and downs of his journey brought painful moments, it brought celebratory moments. One celebratory moment is he too went to the University of Southern California and earned his master's of social work. And now we're back home in Michigan, where he is one of the few licensed clinical bilingual male social workers in the state of Michigan, a profession for which we have a huge dearth in the state. And it's an example of how immigration can help fill our talent pipelines here.
Okay, very good. Steve, what do you hope we get out of this new Americans report?
Well, I hope that we get the right public policies and strategies to move our state forward and to create prosperity. What we found is that 58% of all the growth, population growth over the last decade, and that's a decade where we had Trump policies, we had a pandemic, and so immigration actually was at a low point at points during this decade. but 58% of our population growth came from immigration. For us to develop a population growth strategy that doesn't include immigrants would be like having an economic strategy for Michigan that doesn't have autos or manufacturing or agriculture. So we want to make sure that immigration is part of our strategies, policies, and programs moving forward.
All right, we need to take a quick little break. When we come back, I'm going to go to Dr. Jackson. I want to talk about your experience with the state and how that experience segues into what you're trying to do at Global Detroit. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Spotlight, talking to Steve Tabachman out there in California. Gets to Detroit and Michigan quite frequently, and Dr. Elena Jackson. Dr. Jackson, you were very involved with the Governor's Council. You're a governor appointee on the Growing Michigan Together. How does that fit into all of this latest report and findings?
Sure. So I was on the Jobs, Talent, and People work group, and we were charged with the task of looking at how Michigan's population could grow using economic development strategies. And so after the work group learned about the positive impact of immigrant inclusion as an economic development strategy and how immigration had already so successfully served our population growth. Steve mentioned earlier about the 60% of net growth that we've had over the last 10 years, but in fact, over the last 20 to 30 years, immigration has been the source of all of our net population growth. And so when the work group learned of that, they realized that there could not be an economic development strategy to support Michigan's continued growth, both in terms of population and economic development, without immigrant inclusion as a major thrust of that strategy. And that ties into the work we do at Global Detroit.
You know Detroit, and you know Detroit well. Heavily African-American city. With all of this immigration starting to come in now, how is this being received by African Americans?
It's a very good question. Detroit already has a legacy of welcoming immigrants, and we already have a documented history of immigrant inclusion in economic development, in politics, and in neighborhoods. And I think people forget sometimes that legacy and that history is a part of what has created Detroit and the powerhouse of economy that we have always, been known as. The Detroit that raised me, right, and the public schools that educated me, like Cass Tech, the best high school ever. I'm sure we can all agree.
You got that in.
Got it in. It reflected those truths back to me every day in various ways. And I believe that Detroit, if it wants to continue on this positive trend, it will review this report. Detroiters and the city of Detroit will review this report, learn from the data, and use it to reinforce the economic growth and development we want to continue seeing.
Sure. Steve Tabachman, when you hear people frown at the immigration that's going on in America now, what do you say? And is it a big contributing factor to our economy? And when you hear people are fearful, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think this issue has been demagogued and been used as political fodder to play on people's worst fears. When you look at the data, and that's what this study does from the American Immigration Council, what is the economic impact? We've done our own studies at Global Detroit. You can find one at buildinginclusivecities.org, and it looks at a couple Detroit neighborhoods that experienced rapid immigration. And we're one of the first in the country to say, what is the impact on a neighborhood? What's the impact on African-American residents when immigrants move into their neighborhood? And what we found were extremely positive impacts on reductions in vacant housing and blight, job creation, vacant buildings being filled up, and that really lower crime rates. All of that things happened based on research, right? And based on opinions of the residents in those neighborhoods. They've seen their neighborhoods improved. And so, unfortunately, this has been an issue of let's figure out how to punch down on the least of these and play to our worst fears. And instead, if you look at the research and data, economists are pretty united that immigration is going to raise all boats, and that's going to create economic opportunity for Americans and those who have been here for generations.
When you were representing one of the most diverse districts in Michigan. What is it you heard from the people in those districts that they want from government that they may or may not be getting, or business, or just society in general?
What we have done over the last decade with a lot of partnerships is become simply the most welcoming state in America. And next year we are going to celebrate that with a conference in Detroit called Welcoming Interactive 2025 in May. 1,000 people will be in downtown. These are national leaders, international leaders on welcoming. It's creating a mayor's office of immigrant affairs. It's creating language access for government. It's creating a state office of new Americans called the Office of Global Michigan. And it's investing in workforce development, entrepreneurship, housing, and other programs that create an even path for new Americans to succeed in Detroit and to succeed across the state of Michigan.
Yeah. Dr. Jackson, if people want to get more information about this, where can they go?
They should come to our website, globaldetroitmi.org, and you can find the American Immigration Council report. You can find the Building Inclusive Cities report, which Steve referenced, and soon you'll be able to find more information on Welcoming Interactive 2025.
Yeah. One thing we hear from people who may not be rah-rah about all this immigration is, oh, I'm not against immigration, I'm just against illegal immigration. Speak briefly about that, and because I'm sure you get that.
We do. Steve and I like to say this is an economic development and a community development story. This is about how do we make our state stronger. This is about how do we change the tides on population growth. This is a story of inclusivity, not a story about scarcity. And so we try to reframe the story in terms of the positive impact and in terms of the positive contributions that immigrants are already making. We know that inclusion always wins. It is always the superior strategy. And what we want to do is to ensure that all Michiganders, your cousins, my cousins, your wife's family, right? That all Michiganders are living a prosperous life. And we know that immigrant inclusion is a strategy that can help us get there.
All right. Dr. Jackson, thanks so much for coming in. Steve, thank you so much for joining us from California. I know it's a little early there, and we appreciate you getting up. We'll send you some coffee, and we'll get the both of you back because this is obviously a very important topic, and it's one that's going to increase in terms of discussion all across America as well as in the state of Michigan, and we appreciate it.
Thank you.
And when Spotlight returns, we'll turn our attention to Toyota's Sustainable Cities Challenge. Tim Slusser details why Detroit is one of only 3 places in the world to be selected for this $3 million grant. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Spotlight. Joining me now is Tim Slusser. He is chief of Detroit's Office of Mobility Innovation. That's a mouthful.
We do a lot of work.
You got all that on your business card.
I do.
All right, thanks for coming in and being a part of Spotlight today. You've got a big challenge in front of you. It is called the Sustainable Cities Challenge, and Detroit is one of 3 cities that got the nod for all of this. Give us a little background on all of this, because competition was heavy.
Yeah. So again, thanks for having me. We were competing for something that Toyota Mobility Foundation put out called the Sustainable Cities Challenge. They received over 200 applications from, I believe it was more than 160 cities globally, and Detroit was one of 3 selected winners. And so what's happening is they have $3 million from Toyota Mobility Foundation that is going towards this challenge, where we're going to be sourcing innovations that allow us to make our eastern market in downtown Detroit more vibrant, more sustainable. We're really trying to target reducing emissions and diesel engine runtime in the market.
Mr. Slusser, why do you think with that kind of competition, why do you think they selected Detroit? Because as you said, over 150, close to 200 cities, 46 countries. We're the only city in the U.S. to be able to get this nod. What made Detroit stand out from the pack?
Our hard work, right? Our preparedness for this challenge, right? So we had a great problem that was solvable, with the commitment from our office, the mayor's office, and our partners at Eastern Market. So Toyota actually came here in person to view the site, to view our team, to really evaluate this, stringently. And we rose to the occasion, and we showed them that we've got the grit and the tenacity to deliver on this challenge here in Detroit.
And when you say we had a great problem, drill down on that so people understand what the problem was.
Yeah, so the challenge that we have is Eastern Market is a growing neighborhood, right? It's a vibrant part of our community here in the city of Detroit.
It's a jewel.
Yeah, it's a
over 150 years old.
Yep, a world-renowned farmers market, and that community is going to continue to grow. So what we showed the Toyota Mobility Foundation is we have a community that relies on this asset. We have a community that wants to continue to expand the market footprint, that wants to bring in more housing and things like that in the footprint. So we said we have this challenge of it's going to grow, and if we don't take any action to try and reduce these emissions and the runtime and all those sorts of things, we could be setting ourselves up for a future that isn't as healthy and sustainable as it should be. So they really liked that, and we're not the only community in the world that has this, but we have all the right pieces to the puzzle to help solve it. So we believe we are going to create the blueprint, not just for the U.S., but potentially globally, on how to address these types of challenges. So having the draft, having Michigan Central's reopening, having the Grand Prix, and now being able to announce this partnership with Toyota Mobility Foundation, it just continues to add to what the real Detroit is.
Okay, we're going to slip a little pause for the cause in there. We'll come back, and I want you to drill down on these partners, because there are a few different partners in there and what role each one of them will play in all of this.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back with Tim Slusser right after this. And welcome back to Spotlight, talking to Tim Slusser with the City of Detroit. You've mentioned some of the partners. Let's group them all in. Who are the various partners in all of this? What will their respective roles be? And how do you hope they all work together to make this work?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Eastern Market is the location here, right? So they're a very important partner to us. They run the farmers market, and so they're working with us to help us identify the right partners locally within the market, right? That some of these solutions that we're going to bring in can actually contribute to. You've got Toyota Mobility Foundation, right? They are largely the funders and the visionaries, right? They have established this Sustainable Cities Challenge program. And that's giving us this opportunity to really address the challenge we have here locally. Then you have Challenge Works, which is a group that actually is going to run and operate the challenge for us, right? So they are kind of the back office. They're helping us ideate on what the potential solutions look like, how to engage, on the community and also the industry to source these solutions. And then you have obviously the City of Detroit, which is also a partner in this, and it's our role to make sure that whatever solution is implemented works for the city, right? Contributes to the right type of growth and the right type of future that we envision here that's Detroit strong.
So if this all goes the way you plan, what's the potential impact on the City of Detroit?
So the potential impact is very diverse and can be huge. So you're talking about the opportunity to make Eastern Market more sustainable, meaning it's cleaner air, it's a healthier community. That also means jobs, right? Because you're implementing new technologies, new solutions. It's jobs for individuals that are bringing those solutions to Detroit, right? They may already be here. We might be actually attracting them to Detroit to set up operations. It contributes to the efficiency and hopefully the profitability of the companies that are operating in Eastern Market, right? Because we don't want to implement anything that obviously increases costs, that could adversely affect these operators. So the impact could be very broad and could be huge. And then furthermore, we become a model city globally that others can look to say, Detroit knows how to get this done.
What does Toyota get out of this?
Yeah, so Toyota, this is their foundation, right? So it's their arm that really is focused on giving back to the community and to try and address some of the biggest challenges. Transportation, is one of the biggest contributors to emissions and to things of that nature. So
it's being a good corporate citizen.
Absolutely, right? And I mean, it's no small feat for Toyota to come into the City of Detroit and to partner with us on that. So I give them a lot of credit and very much appreciate their willingness to partner with us and believe in us.
Right. Obviously, a lot going on in the city. We always hear the mayor, especially in his State of the City address, talk about what's happening with housing, what's happening with transportation, trying to make Detroit a city that is much easier to get around because of our whole history of cars and stuff like that. You've also got a thing that you recently launched in terms of a shuttle for seniors, helping them to get around.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. So this is actually a long time coming. This is a federal highway administration program that we applied for a number of years ago. COVID gave us some delays. We're finally launching it, or just launched it, providing service to our older populations and individuals with disabilities in the city of Detroit. So it's going to help them increase their independence. It's going to help them increase their opportunity for jobs or getting to medical appointments, just living a more fulfilling quality of life. So we're really excited about that.
On the Sustainable Cities Challenge, I'm going to whip you back to that. People need to submit their concepts on what they would like to see and be a part of this?
Yes, so the deadline is in September. You can search our website at the City of Detroit. Just search for the Office of
All the
Motivation.
information will be there.
All the information's there. You can search out the Toyota Mobility Foundation's Sustainable Cities Challenge, and the information is there as well. But it's a application window will be open all the way into September, and we really are looking to source ideas both locally, nationally, and internationally. We want all different types of ideas that can help us address this challenge.
All right, Detroit is one of 3 cities. Who are the other 2?
Venice and a city in India that I'm not the best at pronouncing. So, but yes, all the information is on the
If you can't pronounce it, there's a real good chance I can't pronounce it, so neither one of us will screw it up. I haven't been to that city. I have been to Venice, and there's some real challenges. A relatively small place with a lot of water and a lot of people walking around, and it can be awfully crowded, and a whole lot of beautiful boats.
And I'll say too really quickly, each challenge is different, right? The challenge in Venice, the challenge in India are different types of challenges here in Detroit. So they complement one another. Please, I want companies to actually look at all of them, especially if you're in the Detroit area. You might have a solution for one of those other challenges out there as well.
All right, Tim Slusser, best of luck with all this, and you'll come back and let us know how it all goes after all the concepts get submitted by September 12th, I believe it is the deadline. Let us know who gets selected out of that.
I'd love to come back and give you guys an update, so thank you.
We'll be glad to do so. Thank you so much, and congratulations once again to the city of Detroit. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.